jolly swagman camped by a billabong under the shade of a coolabah tree, and he sang as he sat and watched his billy boiling. Who come a waltzing Matilda with me? Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda. Who come a waltzing Matilda with me? And he sang as he sat and watched his billy boiling. Who come a waltzing Matilda with me? Along came a jumbuck, and he drank from the billabong. Down jumped the swagman, and he grabbed him with glee. And he sang as he shoved that jumbuck in his tugger bag. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda. You come a waltzing Matilda with me. And he sang as he shoved that jumbuck in his tucker bag. You come a waltzing Matilda with me. Down came the squatter, mounted on his thoroughbred. Down came the troopers, 1, 2, 3. Whose is that jumbuck you've got in your tucker bag? You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda. You come a waltzing Matilda with me. Whose is the jumbuck that you've got in your tucker bag? You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Well, up jumped the swagman, and he leapt into the billabong. He drowned himself by the coolabah tree, and his ghost may be heard as you pass by that billabong. Who'll come a waltzing Matilda with me? Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda. Who come a waltzing Matilda with me? And his ghost may be heard as you pass by that billabong. Who come a waltzing Matilda with me? Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda. Who come a waltzing Matilda with me? And his ghost may be heard as you pass by the billabong. You come a waltzing Matilda with me.
I really like that you take my photo because I want to send it overseas to my sister, and it would be very nice if she knows what I've been doing.
Alan, how did this all come about with all these toys?
Well, it all started when we saw the program Australian Story, which featured Aussie helpers. At that stage we had just got the workshop up and running, and thought it'd be a good idea to assist a very worthy charity, and also give us something to do and keep us off the streets.
And it's grown bigger than obviously you expected with the amount of stuff that's in the hall there. How many of each item do you know offhand?
Well, it's grown much bigger than we expected. The toys, we have in round figures 100 hobby horses and 150 other toys. There's about 60 pamper packs for the ladies, and I haven't got a count of the other toys that have been donated, and as you've seen on display there.
Wonderful. And are you going to have a nice rest after this?
Probably till after Christmas, and then we'll start again.
You're going to start again.
Yeah.
Alan, thanks very much for that. We'll look forward to seeing the official presentation tomorrow. Thank you.
When this started, back in March, it was a way of forming a men's only club to get together. After a while, the toy making became part and parcel of our every week and every day, and we were working 5 days a week, and it got so big that we had to hand the running of it over to the residents committee so that we could concentrate on the toys. And now that you've seen what's there, boy, it makes you feel good.
Yeah, I think it's wonderful, Jeffrey. I think you've done a wonderful job, but you to be congratulated, all of you. Thank you very much.
It was a whole Salford Waters residents' effort.
Thank you, Jeff. That's wonderful. Shirley, how did the pamper packs come about for the ladies in this, what's the word I'm looking for? Charity venture.
Well, I checked up on the internet, and as well as toys for the children, a very small sentence on the internet suggested that it would be nice if they had something to make the mums feel good about themselves. So therefore that was where we got the idea of the pamper packs. But we've ended up with almost 80 pamper packs for ladies and gentlemen. We didn't forget the dads. We've got some for teenage girls, some for little babies, and of course the toys for the in-between ages. It's just been wonderful, the response we've had from the community and our own residents to supply the stuff. We've had money donated from various businesses to the tune of, from 3 businesses, $910, which funded the money to buy the necessary goods for the pamper packs.
I think the whole thing it was just stunning. When I came up here yesterday to see it and saw all the stuff, I couldn't believe that there was that much stuff. I think it's been wonderful what everybody's chipped in and worked towards this. I'm sure everybody will thank you for that, Shirley. You're doing a great job, and carry on with the good work, and we'll hope you have a great morning today.
Thanks, I'm sure we will.
Thanks, Cheryl. Okay, Adriana, how did you become involved in this project?
It started last year when I was in the committee with Alan and Jeff, and they talked about this project. And then I told them that I love painting. They didn't forget, so that's how it started.
And how many toys do you reckon you have painted?
I think about 50 planes, or no, it was more, 80 planes, and about 50 trucks and cars, and some perhaps 20 or 25 cots.
Wow.
Those cots.
And was the paint donated by someone? No?
Yeah, the paint was bought here by the people from the workshop. I only bought my own brushes.
You did a wonderful job. Are you quite proud of yourselves? I think the whole thing is a wonderful achievement.
Yeah, it is something. It was very satisfying. And now I miss it a bit. It was so wonderful.
So perhaps you'll have more to do next year?
Oh, they'll continue doing this.
Right.
Yeah, it will be so nice.
Thank you, Adriana. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
John, what was your involvement in the project?
Arch, I saw the program on the television, and I was greatly moved to hear Brian's story, so I rang him next day and said to him, I live at a retirement village, Brian, and we make toys, and I said, could you handle any hobby horses? And he said, yes, for sure, hobby horses are very popular. So I came back to the workshop over here and I said to the boys, listen, I've just got an order for 100 hobby horses, tongue in cheek. So they said, I told them the story, and so we started making hobby horses, and then Alan Rumble said, well listen, I'll make toys, little carts. So Alan started making the carts, and then John said, well there's nothing for the girls. So John started making the cots, and it's just grown and grown and grown, and here we are today with a truck that's far too small to take the stuff out. So that's briefly the story, Art.
Thank you, John. Thank you.
He's staring down the barrel of another desperate day, pulls on his boots. He can't walk away. He's running on empty. He's knocked about and bent, but he'll still be standing when the river runs again. Is the spirit in the rock, or pass the hat around? Is it freedom on the wallaby, or a dusty patch of ground? Is it a waltz, sing Matilda, or a hand upon your shoulder? Is this the spirit of the bush? She stares at empty cupboards, just like the day before. It's been so long, and she can't take it anymore. But she digs a little deeper and somehow finds the strength. She keeps believing there'll be better days ahead. Is the spirit in the rock, or pass the hat around? Is it freedom on the wallaby, or a dusty patch of ground? Is it a waltz, sing Matilda, or a hand upon your shoulder? Is this the spirit of the bush? Was it there when young Ned Kelly stood up for those oppressed? Or when the brave young Anzacs put their courage to the test?
Hi, I'm Chris Henderson, Managing Director of IOR Group, and I'm very pleased to be up at Salford Waters today. And I was just, when Arch interrupted me, I was just having a look through the wonderful work that the people of Salford Waters have done in relation to the toys. That is just a fantastic effort. So Shirley was showing me around those, and I'm going to be able to get back and have a really good look at that and enjoy the morning. So congratulations to everyone involved, because it's been a fantastic effort and we really appreciate it. So thank you all very much.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, I just want to offer my congratulations to Salford Waters, to all the residents here that's made a tremendous commitment to putting these toys together. I don't know how many hours it must have taken, but it would have been enormous, and it's just a tremendous commitment for the kids of the bush. So hearty congratulations to the members of Salford Waters.
Thank you, Don. Lovely.
The people, the residents of Salford that have gathered, collected all of these prizes, they're going to make such a difference. They're going to deliver a Christmas to people who probably otherwise would have a lesser Christmas. And I think you're to be commended. The work you've done, the detail, the toys, just the rocking horses, all of the trucks and the hand carving, it's just amazing. Congratulations, all involved in this project at Salford Waters. You really have put the Christmas spirit very well and truly right at the top of the agenda. Congratulations.
Thank you, Peter.
Well, firstly, I'd like to congratulate all the people that have been involved here at Salford Waters, the committee for organising it, and every single person that's made donations, from small to large. It's a fantastic thing you're doing here, and giving to those people that are really struggling out there in this drought, doing it tough in the country. So my hat off to you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jess.
Okay, well, I'm just amazed, Arch. It's something that's just had such a small beginnings at the beginning of this year, that it has grown to the extent of what we see here today. And I just want to congratulate everybody. I'm sure men, women here have had a big part to play in all these gifts that will be sent out west with Aussie Helpers. Wonderful, wonderful effort.
Thank you, Robbie.
A lovely day and a great day for Salford Waters. I'd like to welcome you all here this morning, the residents of Salford Waters, and invited guests and visitors, and I hope it'll be a very enjoyable and memorable occasion for you. There are lots of special guests. I'll just mention a few. We have here Chris Henderson, the CEO of IOR. Chris, a hearty welcome. We also have our Mayor, Mr. Tom Sickham, and the Deputy Mayor, Peter Dowson. And of course, Brian Egan. We'll hear a lot more about that later on. I'd like to thank IOR for their support, for the lovely morning tea which IOR put on for us this morning, assisted by the ladies of the village, of course. They're always very, very active. Now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce, I call him the captain of the team. He says his official title is Chairman of the Workshop Committee, Mr. Alan Rumble, who will tell you all about the project, what's happened in the past and what's going to happen in the future. Welcome, Alan.
Good morning, everybody. Once again, a welcome to our visitors, and particularly our guest of honour, Brian Egan, Mr. Aussie Helpers himself. The purpose of this morning's meeting is to present to Aussie Helpers the goods we have made and had donated for the charity. We realise it's only a fraction of the aid that's needed for the people in the bush, but we hope it'll be go a little way towards helping maintain their spirit and help them along to continue in the struggle against the drought. You know, we're well off here, though we no longer can use sprinklers to water our gardens, and supposed to take no more minutes for showers and save water where we can. We can't realise what it must be like to see your animals dying through lack of water and feed, or planting crops, and just, if you can plant them, and just see the sprouts come up and then fade away. And this is not a one-off, this has been going on for, I think, 6 years, Brian? 8 years. So it's certainly a tough one to overcome. It'll be a tough one to overcome and take years to recover. Yes. It was this thought which prompted us to start making the wooden toys. We'd seen the Australian story program featuring Aussie Helpers and thought, well, that's a good way to help the community, something well worth supporting, and something we enjoy doing, working with wood. So that's how it started. But then we found we needed additional assistance. It's not a cheap exercise, although we had a lot of wood donated. We still needed to buy consumables for the workshop, like sandpaper and glue and things like this, and other items, screws, nails, even down to the eyes we put into the hobby horses. And so we appealed to the residents for assistance, and you responded magnificently. To date, we've had $1,000 from you, and it's all been spent on the requirements for the workshop and the extras that we've been provided. So most timber has been donated. We've resulted from an ad or an article that was put in the Bayside Weekly magazine by the reporter Amy Stanley, I don't know whether she's here today. She was. Oh, she is. Sorry, I didn't see her. In the course of the article, she appealed to anybody that could help us to do so, and we had quite a number of calls on that. We also had timber from commercial suppliers, Gills and Cleveland, and the timber yard, and also Tasfern, the furniture manufacturers. That's the commercial side on timber, but we've had quite a bit of other commercial assistance too. I won't try and mention them all, but there is a list of all the names on the notice board over there. Many of the residents have assisted in the work. Apart from donating the money, they've donated wool and made up manes for the hobby horses, making beddings for the dolls' cradles, painting the toys and relieving some of the tedious work of hand sanding the toys for removing any sharp corners or splinters that might injure the children. So that was all greatly appreciated. I also must thank Shirley Dredge for the work she's put in on this. She's been a great organiser for this morning. She's acted as our secretary, sending out letters of thanks, etc. Purchasing the toiletries and making up the pamper packs with some assistance from other ladies, of course. But she's been the prime mover in all that, and we thank you for that, Shirley. And finally, I'd like to thank those who assisted me in the workshop, John Weir, Jeff Burgess and John Sutton. We've made 100 hobby horses and 150 other toys, such as trucks, railway engines, wagons, dolls' cradles, etc. But I'm sure you've seen them all out there on the display. Many thanks to John English for a donation of $100, to Craig and Gresham Burgess of Mitsubishi Toowong for $250, and to Brian Oldfield for $500. This money has been used to purchasing the toiletries, which you see up there, pamper packs for the ladies in the bush. If I've omitted acknowledging any other helpers, I must apologise for that. I must mention that apart from the stuff we have on display, which is all new and intended as Christmas presents in the bush, there are a number of pre-loved items which we haven't put out, largely because of space, but we'll still go to Brian to distribute as he sees fit. From a small start, this project has taken a life of its own. In 9 months we've made that collection that you see there, and we're looking at doing it again next year. Now we can see what support we get, and we were looking for support again, of course, next year. And I hope it'll be bigger and better. I'm sure it will. Of course, the residents of Salford Waters are no strangers to raising money for charity. For years we've been doing that with our regular art show, and this year we raised $9,000, which went to Angel Flight, another bush charity. In closing, I could only quote the words of young Mr. Grace of Grace Brothers, the TV comedy Are You Being Served? You've all done very well. Right, on behalf of the residents of Salford Waters and our supporters, please accept these goods donation to your charity, and I'm sure they'll be well distributed. Thank you very much.
G'day, how you doing? Look, this started several months ago. I think Alan gave me a ring one day, and I was just a voice out of nowhere. I'd never heard of your village or that. Even though many years ago I used to live at Wellington Point, when the place was all market farms and no people and lots of fish. Now I think it's reversed. We've got all the people, no fish and lots of houses. But yeah, and then Shirley followed up with several emails, and I think one of our helpers there in Brisbane, Sonia, she's been down to see you a few times, and when I walked in today and saw what you had achieved, wow, kind of blew me away. You people just should feel so proud of yourselves. I mean, Aussie Helpers, we've been going for about 5.5 years. We're all volunteers. Some are ex-farmers, some are veterans, some are just grey nomads, but we do everything for nothing. All our services for free, and we just help other people. We just call ourselves Aussies helping Aussies. And what you've done with the goods that you've produced and bought and so forth out there it's just in line with what we do. So thank you very much.
We've been on a fantastic journey of the last 4 or 5 years. It's just incredible. You know, I feel, you know, really privileged to be doing what we're doing. I feel myself that I'm a much better person than I ever was in my life. And, you know, I'm really grateful for that. I've been lucky enough to be given a second chance at life. And to me, I'm trying to make the most of it.
He'd been out of the Navy for 3 days. He had a sales rep's job and worked very hard. He just invited me to the movies. He said, would you like to go to the movies? And that was it. A kind man, very kind. He courted me for a couple of years and things were going along well, but very quiet, never ever expressed how he felt. He would never let you, he would always had this guard up, never really let you know whether he cared for you or oh, you were just there, and so he'd take you out and whatever. And years later we had 4 children and were living in Brisbane, and we just thought it'd be better to go bush to keep our children younger longer.
We bought a small property to try farming. Farming always had an interest for me. I think that because of my own problems, I like to be away from people. I liked the isolation. I liked the freedom, the nature. I mean, doing your own thing. For quite a few years, things did go well on the farm, but troubling signs were with the drought. If you don't have water, you can't do much. That was a big problem in itself.
He wasn't cranky or snappy. He was just very into himself and reclusive, I suppose. He'd sit on the veranda and just drink his beer and look out into the paddock, and it was hard for us, yeah, hard for the kids because, you know, you just want to go up and give your dad a hug and he sort of wouldn't be very receptive or anything like that.
He'd go away working from time to time, and one day he just rang up. He said, I've got to come home, I'm crook. And so he came home and he was an emotional mess. I'd find him sitting outside crying. He was so depressed. He was suicidal.
Well, I didn't realise what was happening to me, and I didn't understand it, and I didn't know where to go for help. To me, it was like somebody who had taken over my life. And as it eventuated, I actually named this person, and I used to call it the Beast. And the Beast did take over my life.
It was really hard. I hated him. I didn't hate him, but I hated what he did. He made our life hell, but he didn't mean it. It wasn't my Brian. Because when I first met him, there was none of this.
I think the first time I tried to take my own life was I tried to jump out of a car at 100 and 120 k's an hour, but it didn't stop there. And I'd picked out a place that I was going to hang myself. I really felt like I was achieving something and I was getting rid of the beast. I mean, I actually told the beast, I said, you know, I'm going to kill you. And even though I was going to kill myself, but I said, we're both going to go. And I did. I had an overwhelming sense of relief.
Well, I left him on 2 occasions for a short period of time because I just couldn't take any more and I couldn't put the kids through any more, but he had nobody. He had his mother and myself. The rest of the family wouldn't have anything to do with him. I'm sure they thought it was contagious or they felt embarrassed. I suppose I can't blame them in a way, but I had to stick by him.
I couldn't drive a car, I couldn't drive a truck, I couldn't drive anything. The time came when we had to leave our property. Nerida was more or less running everything at that stage. I wasn't allowed to even sign any papers because I was considered to be mentally unstable. It was a combination of a lot of things. Probably 3 years of hard drought and personal depression.
And the only way I could handle it was to walk off and leave everything. We took our furniture and our dog and that was it.
And next minute I knew I was in hospital. I probably spent the best part of a year in Greenslopes Repatriation Hospital.
Brian was referred to Greenslopes because he was an ex-serviceman. He suffered from a sense of futility, loss of purpose, intermittent suicidal ideation, feelings as though he had no future and very poor self-esteem, feeling as though he wasn't worth much and had very little to contribute. Brian wasn't doing very well at all, and for a long time he didn't make much progress. On further assessment, in Brian's case, it was possible to uncover that there were certainly significant elements of post-traumatic stress disorder. Brian's traumatic experiences had been encountered during his naval service.
Commonwealth Army units are in the jungle seeking out guerrillas. It is a difficult country.
I lost a lot of friends when the boy...
When he was in the services. And one day it clicked with the doctor. Brian never ever spoke about any of that. Never spoke about his service days at all. I used to ask him, could he remember anyone that he was on the ships with, and he said no.
It was suggested at one stage by a psychologist that maybe the best thing for you, Brian, is to go out and find somebody who's worse off than you are and see if you can help them. And I just laughed. I said, he could be worse off than I am. I said, here I am. I'm 55 or 56 years of age. I haven't got any money. I don't have a house. I have very few belongings. I'm literally a pauper. His words were, you'll find someone. These ones will be for, there's Bernadette and the mum, there's 2, there's 3, Tracy, 4, 5 ladies.
The ladies' gift packs.
It was just a seed that was planted there. And I said, well, I'll go and join a voluntary organisation.
Yeah, don't mix it up or you'll be in trouble.
And I did that for a year or so, but I just didn't feel like they were helping the people in the bush. And they're the people that I was interested in doing something for. And so I went home to Nerida one day and I said, bugger this. I said, let's start our own charity.
I thought, you crazy bugger. I couldn't believe that he could be able to do it after how sick he was, because you couldn't even sit down and have a conversation with him without, couldn't look you in the eye or anything like that. So to find him going to put himself out there to help other people was pretty amazing.
We tossed names around, Poverty Busters, Mission, Vision, and Aussie Helpers came up, and that's the name we stuck with.
Hello, how are you tonight? We're just starting up Aussie helpers to help those out with drought relief.
We started off with a raffle at a country pub. We actually took the food out of our own pantry to make into a raffle, and we went down, bought some tickets, and we started in having regular Friday night raffles in a country pub.
You might have the winning one then.
Just watching.
After several months, we'd raised enough money to start our own thrift shop, and it's just gone on from there.
Red Ticket 58, you have won the food hamper, helping the Aussie helpers. And it's gone to David Power. Well done. On you, David.
I noticed a change starting to happen in Brian as soon as he started his voluntary work. And since that time, all of the things that were worrying him before have now become insignificant to him and meaningless, because he wakes up each day with a sense of purpose and a sense of self-esteem which he's derived from this venture that he's created.
From the moment Brian decided to start up Aussie Helpers, he changed himself. Instead of this withdrawn man, he was get up and get 'em go type of guy, and really just started to put everything he had into it, show compassion towards others, which he didn't do before.
All right, darling. All right, there it is. I'll see you in a couple of days.
Take care.
Anyway.
I see the emotion that I'd never seen in all the years we were married prior to that. So it's all about not what can I do for someone, how much more can I do?
We bought our first vehicle and we used to load it up with boxes of groceries and personal hygiene things and just do a complete blanket of an area. We'd call into every farm wherever we went and just said, "G'day, how you going? Got a few presents for you." We mainly rely on a thing called the bush telegraph. We talk to one family, that family would tell us of another family that's having problems, and so we go to see them, and it's a bit like a daisy chain effect.
G'day there, Bernadette.
How you doing?
Good.
You know, there's no set criteria to what we do.
Good. Bloody hot out here, isn't it?
If we find there's a necessary need for it, we just do it.
No, I want to give you a few things first, then before they melt.
Righto.
Aussie Helpers now have 2 thrift shops.
This is my Santa Claus run.
The money we use for our operations and things comes out of our shops.
You might probably like to get hold of that. It's a nice hamper that some ladies from down the Gold Coast have made up for you.
Oh, wow. We got a phone call one night.
Pretty heavy.
Yeah, my name's Brian and I've got a bit of hay here for you. And I mean, you'd normally just go, "What? We didn't order hay." And you're expecting a big bill. And he goes, "Oh no, I'm from Aussie Helpers and there's some hay being donated and just a bit of stuff we're bringing out for you. Are you going to be home?"
Need a forklift to carry this.
Country people don't like asking for help. And so having someone turn up and give you something is an amazing boost. Burkabulla, which is our property, is sheep and cattle station. It's about 1,000 kilometres west of Brisbane. During 2000, it just stopped raining. I used to have green lawn and I used to have a bit of a garden, and that's all gone. Everything you look at is dying. There's not very much left in the bank account. With Aussie Helpers, you don't have to jump through the hoops, do you? You don't have to qualify or meet some magical formula. He just says, "I've got some stuff, will that help?"
I think anyone who's been through a loss such as Nerida and I have would really know more than your normal counsellor that's just out of university and everything's come out of a textbook. I mean, we're down on the ground talking to people in language which we understand.
Hey, mate, Merry Christmas, hey?
Well, you only got to meet him and know that he's been through hard times. You just can tell. Before I even heard his story, I knew. He's told us that he had a property that went broke because of the drought. He admitted to me that he's had depression. I think it means he's much more qualified than anyone else because he's been there.
I don't think having a loss is something to be proud of, but maybe it was meant to be. Maybe this is what my plan was in life. Maybe this was my destiny to do this. This was my own personal road to Damascus when I came across a farm that I thought was deserted. This fella came out after a while and said that the bank had just foreclosed on him, and he felt so distraught that he was losing everything. We were hugging, he was sobbing. I must have spent half a day there with him. I thought he was quite all right when I left, but I found out that the poor bloke had committed suicide. And I mean, that really whacked me. I kind of felt that I'd let him down. You know, I should have seen somebody about him. And, you know, I'm not kidding. I sat down on the ground there and I said, God, I'm just going to make a vow to you right now that as long as I've got breath in my body, that I will do anything I can to, you know, help people in the bush who are in trouble. And from that day to this, I haven't stopped.
He's staring down the barrel of another desperate day, pulls on his boots. He can't walk away. He's running on empty. He's knocked about and bent, but he'll still be standing when the river runs again. Is the spirit in the rock, or pass the hat around? Is it freedom on the wallaby, or a dusty patch of ground? Is it a waltz, sing Matilda, or a hand upon your shoulder? Is this the spirit of the bush?
She stares at empty cupboards, just like the day before. It's been so long, and she can't take it anymore.
When she digs a little deeper and somehow finds the strength, she keeps believing there'll be better days ahead. Is the spirit in the rock, or pass the hat around? Is it freedom on the wallaby, or a dusty patch of ground? Is it a waltz, sing Matilda, or a hand upon your shoulder? Is this the spirit of the bush? Was it there when young Ned Kelly stood up for those oppressed?
Or when the brave young Anzacs put their courage to the test?
Or is it out there with the battler when he gives it one last try? It's through the darkest moments you see the spirit shine. Is the spirit in the rock, or pass the hat around? Is it free?